Hello, once again, I'm Bear Schultz, SP 500. And this is end of day, May 29th, 2025. This is my part 4 video of my Great Depression series. Up to this point, I projected that the final bottom markets would be around Father's Day. And it's looking like markets will bottom more around, for their final bottom will be more around the June 24th, 25th date for their final bottom. And then I believe after that bottom, you're going to see markets go up until the Super Bowl of 2028, hit a macro peak. Then I think you'll see markets sell off into maybe October of 2028. Maybe you'll hit a double bottom in March 2029. Either way, then we would go up and to hit our final macro market peak of Labor Day 2030. I believe that's when the Great Depression will start. Could it be Christmas of 2030? Or New Year's Eve of 2030, that's the final peak? Sure, it certainly could. It's, 5.5 years away. This is still quite a bit in advance of that. So I wanted to give you an update of why I believe it will be, June 24th, 25th. And plus, obviously, if someone wants to, pull the trigger on the race start of when my official bottom would occur and then track my performance of market predictions over the next 10 years, as I believe that the Great Depression window will last through and end near Labor Day of 2034. Could it be middle of October 2034? Yeah. Could it be the end of October 2034? Yes. Could it be June of 2034? Father's Day of 2034? Yes, it could be. But essentially, that 3 to 4 year window is how long I predict that there will be a Great Depression, all created by the Fed, and namely Jerome Powell with his 0% interest rates in 2020. I think that was a great cause of it. I think that's started a 5-wave move up from 2020 up into 2030, and then I think Jerome Powell is the main driver for the Great Depression that we're about to see. Much like Andrew Mellon of the 1920s, I think Jerome Powell is the current day Andrew Mellon, who created the Great Depression in the 1930s. I think Jerome Powell is the father of this Great Depression window. And so I've created a GoFundMe page that if you want to watch the gifting live, sometimes people probably wonder how much I've received in donations. So I've never really had a way to show you live, right? I've always given a number or something, but then people could say I still doctor that. So over the next decade, I'm providing you with a link to the GoFundMe project that I've created online. And if my prediction comes out to be, dangerously accurate over the next 10 years, I think it would be fun to watch to see if I can achieve my target of $777,000 over a decade. Who knows? Maybe I hit $1 million or 1.34 million. Who knows? So let's move on to some of the materials. This is the GoFundMe page. You can see the live donation feed. The link is in the description below this video. Essentially, over the next decade, you can see where the gifting's at. If I fall way short, if I hit the mark, or if I wouldn't be crazy if I exceeded it. A little small town guy like me with Excel. If I can outperform some of the world's best hedge funds and other forecasters, who knows? Maybe I could bump up over $1 million in the next 10 years. I don't know. So the whole thing would start on roughly June 24th, 25th, when that would kick off, and then it would end on New Year's Eve of 2034. And, obviously, if I could leave it up into early 2035, this is all just nonsense at this point because it's 10 years in advance, right? So, but anyways, you can track my live performance of the donation feed, what people think of my prediction, how accurate it is possibly. Obviously, if I don't have many people following my work, that'd be pretty hard to reach those donation goals, but please feel free to share my work. It'd definitely help. And if at least if you're entertained in the distant future from the summer of 2025 here, share my work in the years ahead. If you're entertained by my work, and maybe you just come across my work in 3 or 4 years and you're like, wow, this guy is uncannily accurate from a mid-2025 prediction. Hopefully this ages very, very well. That's my hope. My videos, for some reason, really do, I would say 92% of my videos age extremely well. Some people might disagree with me, but I think majority of people would actually agree with me. So I think some of my best materials and best predictions that I've ever made have been in a video. So hopefully that's to your benefit. All right, let's move on to the material. I've changed up a little bit of my how I predict where bottoms are. Basically, you can see I jacked up the roof on the model, and I've changed the scale quite a bit on this, as you can see. But to the far left, you can see quite interesting trend line going through all the different steel, gray, blue graph there, the zigzag, what I call the Einstein model, going out to roughly June 24th, 25th as a market bottom. I'll say June 24th, that way it's plus or minus 1 business day, that way it could be June 23rd, right? So fair enough. But essentially, what's my main go-to here? Really the 1 and the 2 and the white there. That's really what I enjoy staring at endlessly, even though it goes nowhere. That simple trend will draw down the graph all the way down to its knees into that June 24th plus or minus 1 business day bottom date for the stock market. And then obviously I've studied this, hoping that the different trajectories up to the 177.7 horizontal is where markets hit the bottom as well. And then I just find it interesting that I use a lot of sevens in my work, and the whole thing seems, I've studied historically, and it's had pretty good hit rate for finding the major bottoms using this. You can also look back at middle of April there, where you had a 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 on the top of that steel gray zigzag Einstein model there for the major bottom right in mid-April. And then it's predicting that there will be another huge major bottom in markets around June 24th plus or minus 1 business day. So that is my official final bottom for the markets, will be June 24th plus or minus 1 business day. And then I believe that markets will go up until the Super Bowl of 2028. We'll hit some macro peak, and then markets will cool into October of 2028, maybe March of 2029. But at that time, we're getting very close to the tail end. So I would think that the sooner would be the better. So I would think it would be the more of the weight would be on the October 2028 low. And then we'd see that market rocket back up into Labor Day of 2030, maybe the end of 2030, and then we'd have the Great Depression window from 2031 through mid to late 2034. So I want to give you an update and a final prediction on the final bottom date so you can track my work over the next 10 years. Obviously, I want to jumpstart my 10-year prediction off of the very bottom, right? Now, if we hit 5,000, let's say, on the S&P on June 24th, plus or minus 1 business day, that would still be phenomenal in my mind, because really I want to get the final bottom for my prediction. I know that it will most likely be the middle of April, but most of my work is on the slightly higher low, right? The divergence low. The end of the second wave down, and then wave 3 up is usually very powerful to the upside. So again, I'm trying to find where that final bottom is before that big, huge move up. And again, I think that will be on June 24th. A lot of people say it's impossible for you to know that. It's impossible for you to predict this. So hopefully that type of curiosity and that type of thinking draws people in to wonder how that my models could be accurate. If this is truly May 29th when I'm predicting this, and if markets truly bottom on roughly June 24th plus or minus 1 business day based on this mathematical construct here, and then obviously I have other models that I use, but that would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? And then it'd be interesting if the markets peak in February sometime of 2028. Could it be mid-January of 2028? Yes. Could it be end of February 2028? Yeah. So I'm giving, I still get like a 2-3 week window of time, roughly plus or minus a week and a half, plus or minus 2 weeks, right? This is a huge macro call. I'm not isolating it to the day from here. I'm basically given a very rough sketch. But I think in the hands of the right people, I think it could really hopefully benefit some people. I'm trying to pay off my debts. I'm trying to store up where I can and kind of prepare over the next 5 years, just in case, right? Just in case the Great Depression window is severe. I don't know the severity. All I can see is usually the windows of time. I can't always see how severe the window is going to be, but I can see where the window is. If you want to understand how I get to the other dates, you can go back and see part 1, part 2, part 3. This is part 4, as you know. And then I would think that, in a year or so, maybe if the markets just keep going really well, all the way into late 2027, January 2028, maybe I make a video at the latest, around Christmas time of 2027. But I would think that, by mid 2027, I could be making a video. If it's all aces into January 2028, then maybe I try to wait as long as possible. But please share my work if you really are enamored with it, really find it interesting. And like I said, if you're 3 or 4 years in the future watching this, as it is end of May 2025 now, please pass my work along if it goes swimmingly well and the predictions are hyper accurate. It would mean a lot to me if you'd share my work. Obviously, if you donate on GoFundMe too, that'd be pretty cool too. And see how close I can get to my target based on my accuracy, obviously, and the size of my audience hopefully grows. Who knows? Maybe if my work is hyper accurate into the end of 2034, hopefully, who knows if a stock market timing video could really go viral. But you can only do your best. So leave it in God's hands from there. So anyways, I'm BR Schultz. Thank you so much for joining me. And this is my official bottom date. So until next video, thank you so much. Again, this is just a snippet of the GoFundMe page. I didn't want you to forget that. So thank you. And please bookmark it, whatever, and watch it over the next decade or into late 2034. Thank you so much.